What's up, everybody? How you doing? It's a beautiful day. Well, yeah,
It's
it's a
very
beautiful. No, it's a beautiful day. It's just beauty is relative.
gloomy and drizzling and cold, but not cold in the house because of me and the warmth that emanates from me. I'm joking. I'm joking.
How Gemini? I thought
Najiamini, okay?
that's the conversation we were having before this.
Najiamini.
Self-belief. You know, I've actually been writing like a. I've actually been writing like I started writing journal on self-belief, on actually like getting rid of self-doubt. So
Muhimu, I believe that that's important because we all have like a speck of self-doubt when it comes to doing things. It also shows up for me. So, and journaling is such a great way to do
it's
it.
a great way to actually see yourself, to I guess like learn about yourself, learn about the things that you've done,
Yeah.
and learn about the actions that you've taken intentionally.
See your growth, see the trajectory of your growth.
Yeah.
Guys, I lost a book. I started journaling like 5 months ago, and I lost the book. And it's so painful to lose a book that you've been journaling on because I find it's therapeutic to like write things down as opposed to like texting it, etc. But yes, hopefully it shows up. So if you've seen a small black book, really small, has my name on it,
What's your
please
name?
don't read it. My name is Michelle Jangara. Michelle is spelled with a T, unfortunately. Thanks, mom. But if you see it, just mail it to me. DM me, I'll give you my address. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us once more on another episode
Of
and
Long Play
of
Podcast.
Long Play Podcast with Jangara and Olango. And today we're going to be discussing a colors show and the impact
Look at how
it
you're
has.
saying a color show as you point me.
I wasn't pointing, I was literally pointing at
Like,
the sky.
Change.
No, no, no.
Okay.
Martin, look.
Hakuna msee atakusaidia, ukijisaidia atakukazia. Isi mshuto, mimi nasafisha hewa.
So yes, we are discussing a colors show. We recognize that you are dressed for the part. If you don't know what a colors show is, it's a musical platform. They are a YouTube channel and they feature a lot of artists globally from all over the world, from the most famous to the ones who are undiscovered to the ones who are on the brink of fame. So we've been seeing a lot of Kenyan artists on the platform, and we definitely want to discuss what this means for our Kenyan artists and African artists. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, okay. So I feel it in for you because you're eating. So a colors show. So it's called Colors. If you've never watched it, it's called Colors. But even if you don't know what it's called, I'm pretty sure you know the aesthetic because it's basically like it's almost always a room, an empty room that looks like some kind of studio. There's a microphone that's hanging from the top, and all you can see is the artists. The color of the room changes, depending on, I don't know.
I guess that's why it's called colors.
Colors, yeah. So different colors, So very monochromatic vibe, aesthetic, very clean, no distractions. They actually say that this is intentional because they just really want to make the moment about the artist and about the music. Like right now, in this day and age, music videos, everything has a lot going on, and for artists to get famous or to have their songs listened to, they have to have some kind of virality, like you want to go viral. For artists nowadays, in order to get your music out there or to get known, to have labels see you or producers see you or whatever, you have to do something to make you go viral or at least get the numbers coming. And for a lot of people, that means doing something crazy,
What the crazy?
What the crazy? You have to have a what the crazy moment in your video. And so luckily, I like to see that Colors has this very clean aesthetic approach that is really about the music and the artist and how they choose to package themselves, because they look so artistic, and the fashion sense is great. It feels authentic to the artist.
That actually makes sense. Like as in,
yeah.
then the artist becomes the center of
The center of
the
everything.
piece.
So
So
when
the
you're
audio
watching,
and even when you're watching, then you're really just looking at the artist because there's no other makes a lot of sense.
Makes
That's brilliant.
A lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's quite brilliant, honestly. It makes it just about the music and just about the artist. And that's why a lot of artists get discovered through that
Yeah,
platform.
because a lot of people actually, when they come across it, they're actually in there for the music.
Yeah,
That makes
intentionally
sense.
listen. Is that your phone?
Well,
Oh, I thought I had like an alarm or something. It is your phone. You're crazy. So, yeah. Something that I really like about the Colors show is that they've kind of maintained this what would I call it? This loyalty to music itself, such that they're not allowing themselves to be not allowing themselves to become like to only feature the big people. Let me say that again, like in a way that makes sense.
so basically, I think what you're trying to say is they mix both artists who are like on the, like you mentioned, artists who are on the brink, but they're also like, if somebody's talented and you do your submission and they come across it and they love it, then it won't be based on, oh, you have this number of followers, or you
How
have
big are
how
you?
big are you, how it's basically, oh, you're talented and you're putting in the work.
Yeah, I really love that about them, because I always feel that for a lot of people, even if you're starting just a podcast, whatever it is that you're starting, once you start to become big, there's a temptation to hang out with the big guys, or hang out the space where like a lot of big people who are now like you-ish are, but to see that,
And I like such platforms, because I feel like even NPR did the same, or is doing the same,
Do you know that Colors actually has surpassed NPR Tiny Desk in terms of subscribers?
Oh, wow.
And even monthly views, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, wow.
It's that big.
That's great. Honestly, the more the merrier,
The more the merrier.
Because then it even gives artists more opportunities or more chances to actually be known or to break through in this digital age. So the more musical platforms that are artist-centric as well, the merrier,
The merrier, 100.
Yeah.
What do you think that an artist can just learn from like the Colors show?
Wow.
Or, before we get there, how about, have you listened to any of the songs?
Yeah.
By Kenyan artists?
Yeah. So we watched, even the other day, we watched one of them play live, Karun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she performed the song that she did on Colors.
Oh, I see.
So, while I've watched them, I think the thing about even, especially like another talked about Karun, like it was so nice to actually see her on it, because she's been wanting to be or to get on it for the longest time, like from, because I don't know if their offices are still in Germany.
Berlin, yes.
Berlin,
based.
Because I remember this is maybe 2018 or something, like, figuring out how to make Europe trips to get onto Colors, like.
Oh, was that you?
No, this was Karun.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This was Karun, figuring out how to like intentionally make Europe trips to get onto Colors. And it's great that she didn't have to leave the continent to feature on it.
Colors came to her.
Colors came to her. So I think that also like just shows being consistent in your craft and having a clear vision also like really helps. Like it may not happen the same time, but like, look, it's 5 years later, but they came knocking on her door. Which
And
is
5
great,
years, it's not really a long time, the way that people usually think that it is.
Speaking of 5 years, so there's just a bit of deviation.
Okay.
The Grammys, Latin Grammys, Latin Grammys have
separate.
So there's a 95-year-old lady who won Best New Act, and she started recording music when she was 90. Did you know that? Like, Best New Act. Like, Best New Act. This, I think for me, it's definitely I want to listen to her music, but I think the thing that really does is, man, it's never too late to go after
It's never too late.
This is really just echoing the 5 years that you're talking about. So
No, that's
5 years is not
really fascinating, because I feel like when it comes to our dreams and our goals, we're always so quick to want to achieve them. So in my journal, which I lost, I have like a
small black book.
Small black
if
book.
you find
if you see it, let me know. But So I find that I'm really impatient when it comes to my dreams. In my small black book that I lost, my journal, I had a 6 month plan, and now it's just maybe like 20 days until the end of the 6 month plan. And I looked back and I'm like, I haven't achieved like all the things that I really wanted to achieve, you know. But I have achieved like, you know, more than half, which is really great. But I find that, oh my goodness, I just wanna win today. Like, can I just win today? Can this podcast be big today? Can everything be big today? But hearing about the woman who start recording when you're 90, like, it's just so beautiful to see that there's still so much time to do all the things that you love. What's the rush?
So before that, she used to just perform in front of family and friends. Then she got into studio at 90 years old.
Oh my God.
And 5 years later, she won a Grammy.
That's so beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's actually a very beautiful story.
It reminds me of another story. Sorry, we're deviating, but still in the same context. There's this documentary called Searching for Sugar Man. That I think I've told you about before.
A
But
South
it's
African
basically,
guy?
not really. Actually, it's an American guy.
If
If I'm not wrong, I think he's Native American. But anyway, he's American and was living in Detroit in shambles. Like, he was living in the ghetto.
Okay.
Really poor, and he was doing construction work, but he had that talent, musical talent. And so one time he recorded an album and kind of went back to his construction work. You know how we just record an EP, an album, whatever. But it just so happens that someone, just during apartheid in South Africa, it just so happened that some South African, or somehow his music made it to the South African scene and blew up like crazy. But remember, this is way back when. So it wasn't really easy to get on social media. It wasn't that easy. So people did not know who this guy is. People just know that there's this album that everybody loves that he was a hit, huge celebrity in South Africa. But remember, he's in Detroit doing what? Constructing. Has no idea how big he is. But anyway, the whole documentary is like, there's, I think, if I remember it correctly, 2 guys were on the quest to find Sugar Man.
Did they find him?
They find him, they bring him to South Africa, he does a full concert, he fills the space, they give him red carpet treatment, he gets into a limo. I mean, just chills.
I literally actually legit from your description felt chills.
And this happened when he's much older. Remember, this album was when he was young, so he's much older, like experiencing what this album has done, and people loving his music. Like, guys, music is powerful.
Yeah, and the power of patience as well.
The power of patience.
Yeah.
And so
it's the same even with Manu Dibango. I mean, we could go on and on.
We could point at so many different artists. This is but taking the story back to Colors, I am so happy to see all these new Kenyan, not even new, but like just seeing these Kenyan artists on Colors, and me discovering some of them. Like, there's this other one called Zoe. Oh my God, I've discovered Zoe, and I'm a huge fan now. I can't believe she existed without me knowing that she exists. I listened to her, I listened to her
showcase
recording, yes, and I thought it was really magical, and now I'm like ready for more. So I love how Colors, or at least such platforms, can allow you to discover new talent, people you didn't even, and it's always so exciting when you find like a new artist, you know, that feeling of
And I think let's also give flowers to Spotify Africa, because it was all in conjunction with Spotify Africa. Like, literally, they made it happen for the Kenyan artists on this one. So amazing flowers.
Flowers to you guys.
Yeah.
And
Flowers.
You get those flowers. So that's I just love how you can just discover artists on this platform and just become like a core fan. All right, some of the Kenyan artists that we are loving and enjoying listening to on the Colors platform are like, Maya Amolo, big up to you.
Yeah.
There's Karun, of course, love your voice. There is Zoe Kengocha. I really hope I said your name right, because
I'd probably say it as Kengosha. I feel like
Kengosha, but it's
I feel like it.
Kengocha.
Do you say Ongechi?
Zoe, I think this
I
is
hope-
your
I
cue.
hope-
Let us know how to pronounce your name, but we are fascinated by your music. It is beautiful. Flowers to you, babe. So happy that I now know you. I'm happy that I now know you. Bien, Bien, big up.
Yeah.
Loving Bien's new album and loving the
Destined
colors.
for the
vibe as well.
stars.
Yes.
Xenia, did you mention Xenia?
Xenia
Also had an
absolutely.
amazing showcase.
Yeah, she was the first one actually.
Was she?
Was she the first
I think
one?
Lisa
She's the
was
first
there.
Kenyan. Nah, Xenia definitely came first on the platform. I think she was the first Kenyan.
Yes, but
What are we betting on? Like, what are you giving me? What am I?
I think
what,
I'm
what are
just
we-
first of all happy that we're doing. Okay, this we're
If
doing
I'm
it on
right.
camera, and that I'll wait and see if I actually get.
Xenia was the first on the platform.
I say it was Lisa. Let's
It's
go and check.
definitely okay.
Okay, let's.
What are we betting on first? What am I like?
It
What's
doesn't
what's
have
on
to
the
be
line?
anything. I think it's just bragging rights.
No. There's got to be something to be gained.
Whoever it is that was first, the person who gets it wrong has to actually send actual flowers to that person.
Wait, what? That was so many words.
That was so many words. If it was Xenia and I'm saying it was Lisa, I have to send Xenia actual flowers.
All right, and if I was wrong, then I owe Lisa actual flowers.
Yep.
Damn, but what do I get out of this if I'm right? What do I get? Nothing.
It's not about you.
It's not about me. Okay, sawa. Okay, it's not
Listen
about
the
me.
plot.
Focus, Michelle. It's about the creatives in Africa, including myself. But yes, it's not about me. Okay, so we've that. All right. So. All right. So
Videos.
I can feel your heart beating. It's too loud. Relax. Relax. You'll be okay. Flowers are small things. You can send Xenia flowers. Xenia went on 4 weeks ago. Wait. We have to look at the dates.
Literally,
I
if it
will
says
not
4 weeks and the other one
know.
says 1 month, it means the 1 month one.
No.
Like you can even tell which one is there before the other one. Like
All right. So October 23rd. Xenia went on October 23rd, and Lisa
just send her
went
flowers.
on October 19th. Okay, actually, it's not a loss. I just don't like to be wrong, but I do owe Lisa flowers. So, girl, send me your address. So, yeah. So yes, have we finished all the Kenyan artists? Actually, there's a couple that we haven't mentioned as well. There's this lady who had this beautiful atmospheric vibe. She is Nyokabi. Nyokafi. Now that you want me to pronounce everything, Nyokafi karaoke. Nyokabi karaoke. Yes. Very like atmospheric vibes. Gave me like a Enya kind of, you know that type. Very cool. Very great for film. Very great. Like I'd love to see that on like a beautiful Kenyan film. Big film. I'd love for that. And Maya Amolo, did we say that? Yeah. And we are definitely looking forward to seeing a lot more of our artists on this. I feel like also Kenyans are rediscovering like underground Kenyan talent as well. And so if you go to the comment section, you'll see a lot of Kenyans being like, "Oh wow, like the Kenyan R&B scene."
Yeah, I think honestly, actually, apart from, and this locally speaking, apart from Bien, all the others who've been showcased are not commercially as appreciated, or before this were not commercially as appreciated or played or got as much airplay on the local space,
Yep.
And I think actually that's really beautiful to see. Oh, man, that's
It's really nice to see them get on a platform where they can be recognized by not just their friends or close family or the few people enjoying such music, but like the global world. And I really hope that for them that this will really push them onto the next level with their music, because Colors has a reputation in that actually. Of course, doesn't mean that everybody who gets on Colors will not become a big star, but there's a bunch of artists who've actually like broken. They've actually become big musicians globally just because of Colors. Like there's this lady called Mahalia. She's a British R&B singer, and she said that she was pretty much stagnant in like her music career before she went into Colors, and after Colors she blew up significantly. Like her social media blew up, labels, producers calling, filling out arenas, stadiums, which I think was really huge for her.
I think you don't even have to go that far. Even Oxlade, like
oh yeah,
Kulosa was really.
It really did become big.
It became super
That's
big.
True.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I knew him thanks to Colors. I didn't know him before. Yeah,
I definitely knew of Oxlade before. Yeah, I do listen to a lot more Afro beats. Yeah.
But I hear you. Like, it's definitely, I think, more than anything, it gives a confidence boost to not just the artist featured, but all the other artists who are in close proximity to those artists.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, you can tell, because birds of a feather flock together, you know. So when you see a Zinnia win, when you see a Zoe win, when you see a Maya win, you know, and you're like, oh, I can actually be able to, I just played before her at the last gig, or I just, you know, she just liked my post, or not even, okay, maybe not liked my, but as in, you're in close proximity, you're probably in the same studio, or you probably use the same session, like as in, it makes all the others who haven't been featured on the platform feel like, okay, cool. So it means I'm on the right trajectory, you know?
Yeah.
And it's possible, you know, and it's amazing to see even guys like Zinnia topping that up with, she got featured on songwriting credits on Brandy's album, a Christmas album, which just like came right after her Colors feature. So like as in, it's just stacks on what then success looks like when you see somebody win and you're like, wow, that's amazing. Like, first of all, genuinely just like delight, happy for, you know, for that, or being able to see that.
You know something that just hit me while you were talking? Do you remember how in the past, and I might be wrong, but maybe in the spaces that I was in, culturally, Kenyans used to look at Kenyan musicians who are doing like alternative kind of music, or you know, they sound very R&B, or they sound, you know, different. They don't sound like Kenyan, like a lot of the Kenyan famous pop songs.
Yeah.
People used to look at them like, why are you doing that kind of music? Like, why are you alternative? Like, you know, you won't get views, you won't get people. Yeah, why are you singing English? And of course, like, especially with R&B music, like if you are singing in R&B music, you will sound American almost. Like, I think the accent will sound kind of sort of American. And so what we used to see was that kind of like a subtle rejection from home when it comes to such artists, because they sound different and they almost sound bougie or too, I don't know.
But
something.
you know, I feel, okay, first of all, that was when you're also transitioning into the digital space. But then also the fact that when you started getting more of those artists, not just singing in like that while here, but also traveling the world or going to study elsewhere. I'll give you an example, like Zinnia. Zinnia went to study at Berkeley, right? Yeah. And what then that means is she can be able to sync with that side, with the Berkeley space, with the States market, or she can be able to infiltrate, because she's there on the ground there, you know, global market, so she can be able to infiltrate physically, or can have networks in that space, and even then when she comes back, she can still do a niambie in Kiswahili and mixes, you know.
Yeah, it's so great to see that she can fit in different markets, you know.
So,
but all I'm saying is, to finish that initial point I was making, is that I'm happy to see that change. Basically, I'm happy to see that kind of music be appreciated without it being labeled as bougie or wannabe. It's really important, I really feel, because that is a lot of incredible talent, but because like a lot of people could be used to seeing one form of content or one form of approach coming from our country. People are like boxed, but now people are becoming more open-minded, and as you said, of course, now with the digital space being as big as it is, internet being as big as it is right now in our country, and being in a lot more counties, a lot more places, mobile internet, etc. Now it's becoming so much easier for people to just appreciate an artist for who they are without labeling them or being like, oh, why aren't you doing this and that instead? And
I think actually also to just echo what you're saying, and also just like conclude on the point, the example of Zinnia, for example, now with her being in both sort of markets, you know, then what that allows her is she's able to then commercially function globally. You get, like, maybe her music might not be on the Billboard charts yet, where she's performing vocally as the lead artist, but her music has been on the Billboard chart in terms of songwriting. You know, because she's able to songwrite in English amazingly as well. That the same R&B artists that you'll sound like Brandy when you, or you'll sound like Tiana Taylor, but she's written for Tiana and she's written for Brandy. You know, like, as in.
I know.
So it really opens up the whole. There's even additional revenue streams that.
Absolutely.
When you box yourself,
When
you
you
might
box,
not even
yeah.
be able to tap into, you know, like,
into
that's global
100%.
songwriting.
That's global songwriting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that point, honestly, and I feel like as creatives, that's one thing that we can get from, well, like in Azinia, you know, and even from colors as well. Just think global. When it comes to your art, just think global, because I think we box ourselves because we're kind of scared. And then
True.
while boxing ourselves, we tend to box other people. So what happens is that when you see somebody else like go
Do it.
global or do something different, you start to feel some type of way because you kind
You
of
want
feel
to
like
do-
you
you
want
want to
that.
do it, but you
So
have fear.
some people, instead of just recognizing that for what it is and saying, you know, I'm kind of a little jealous, or it kind of makes me feel a little insecure to see how far you've gone or how global you're thinking when I just thought local. Instead of just agreeing that that's what's bothering them, they tend to push that person down. Crabs in a bucket mentality. Like, they want to push you down and be like, oh, why? Oh, don't do this. Oh, when you do that, you're going to crash and burn. Oh, the people will never recognize you. Like, a lot of like naysayers who are trying to push you down, because really they are. You keep reminding them of what they wish.
What they actually want.
And they don't have that, or they don't believe that they could get it. So.
Moral of the story: dream, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Yeah.
Yep.
And anything anybody has accomplished, you can too if you put your mind to it.
Yep. I think I'm looking forward to seeing that collab continue.
Yeah.
Shout out again to Spotify Africa and Colors. I'm looking forward to seeing it continue, and I'm looking forward to seeing. I know we talked about the artists who resonating on a global space. I think also it will be interesting to see the artists who are using the local approach, how that expansion of their brand would look like when it goes global. Yeah, so I think that would be cool. I'd be curious to see what the other genres look like at Colors, you know, like, you know.
I did find myself thinking of, if there was Gengetone / urban tone. Now it's called urban tone. I'm not really sure. How that would translate on like a Colors platform.
It'd be cool because I think
I'm curious.
I think then what that would do is it really it'll keep expanding the market. It'll keep expanding the industry.
Yeah.
Just because like we have the amazing musically gifted I don't want to sound like I'm boxing the other guys, but like there's guys who the singer-songwriter vibe, the guys who are very vocal, are very musically inclined into musicality. Their musicality is evidently stronger in delivery than others. The musicality, not the music, the musicality.
I understand. By musicality, you mean like the vocal range?
Yeah, like they understand
writing, the lyrics.
They understand. They have like the ear training and all those things.
Okay.
In terms of just being in key, such like things.
Okay.
But like, it's amazing to see that those guys have been highlighted. It's amazing to see that it's the music that has been appreciated. Or the musicality has been appreciated. I think it would be cool to also see what, like you said, what a major Colors show would look like, Then the thing would be, because you have, if you look at even the African artists who've been featured, or the African countries who've had multiple artists featured, Nigeria,
Yes.
It's had a variety of course, the commercial Afrobeats, but then it's also had alternative artists grace it as well, So I think what that does is it really makes we call them sufuria, puns, like the pan is just bigger for us to be able to bake even bigger and greater cakes, basically.
I like that.
But yeah, like I think that would be really cool for the melting pot to actually put more artists in it. You know, more genres in it.
Yeah. But that's it for today. I feel like, yeah, we're just so happy about it, honestly. Happy to discover new artists. I hope a lot more Kenyan artists are going to get featured on it so that I can discover new artists.
Yeah, and I hope, and the next stage, not even I hope, I feel like it's a given right now. The next stage, I can't wait for NPR to do the same here.
Yes. Yeah,
wow,
that
I
should,
think that would be amazing.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just happy that we can export our culture and our talent globally.
Yep.
So let us know which of the colors Kenyan episodes really stood out for you, which ones you love, you know, if you discovered any new artists, and just how you feel about Kenyan musicians being on colors. Yeah.
And I feel like we might have to send all of them flowers because at this point it will be odd just sending.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send all of us flowers.
It's fine. I'll send all of you flowers.
Including me too.
Okay. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, and have a nice day.